What is the real world? This is our 8th special thought in the second part of the workbook. And the lessons 291 to 300 are going to throw some light on what the real world actually is and how we want to look at it. Welcome to the Qigong Support for A Course in Miracles students. My name is Judith and this is the Lucid Mind Center. And the reason this is called Qigong Support is because after reading this special thought together with you and reading the lessons, I guide you to special Qigong classes which are suitable for this special thought and also the lessons we are reading. I'm reading here from my favorite place in Croatia, which is called Brela, and it's also easy for me to see the real world here, to see the real beauty. So let's see what kind of ideas will come up during the reading with me. I do not prepare the lessons. I just read them and I allow the inspirations to come through as I'm reading them. Let's begin. So what is the real world? The real world is a symbol like the rest of what perception offers. All perception offers are symbols. Yet it stands for what is opposite to what you made, what we made. Your world is seen through eyes of fear and brings the witnesses of terror to your mind. And this has never been any more true in my mind, being in this country, how it is to see the witnesses of terror and looking through the eyes of fear. Because many people, they are carrying a grudge here. They're carrying hatred or fear in their heart from that war, which is not so long ago. And in Bosnia, it's even more. You can perceive it even more. It's more present. Your world is seen through the eyes of fear and brings the witnesses of terror to your mind. The real world cannot be perceived except through eyes forgiveness blesses. So they see a world where terror is impossible and witnesses to fear cannot be found. According to the Qigong teachings, the fear is anchored in the kidneys. And the kidneys are in control of the water within the body. So fear is flowing with the blood. And also that they have figured out recently that stress, cortisol, is a hormone which can be overruled by the hormone oxytocin, which is actually a happy hormone. So here we have got the analogy again that love is stronger than fear, that light is stronger than darkness. So we can overrule it if we get our mind to look at things the right way. The real world cannot be perceived except through eyes which forgiveness blesses. So they see a world where terror is impossible and witnesses to fear cannot be found. The real world holds a counterpart for each unhappy thought reflected in your world, a sure correction for the sights of fear and sounds of battle which your world contains. And like I said, no better place to read that special thought to you. The real world shows a world seen differently, through quiet eyes and with a mind at peace. Nothing but rest is there. There are no cries of pain and sorrow heard, for nothing here remains outside forgiveness. And the sights are gentle. Only happy sights and sounds can reach the mind that has forgiven itself. We have to forgive ourselves first. It's like when you're going in the aeroplane and they're saying if those oxygen masks come out, you first have to put it on your mouth before you can put it on your children's mouth. First you have to take care of yourself before you can take of somebody else. And it's the same with forgiveness here. You've got to forgive yourself first. In the end, it's always about forgiving yourself. What need has such a mind for thoughts of death, attack and murder? What can it perceive surrounding it but safety, love and joy? What is there it would choose to be condemned, and what is there that it would judge against? The world it sees arises from a mind at peace within itself, and that's where we want to go back to. No danger lurks in anything it sees, for it is kind, and only kindness does it look upon. The real world is a symbol that the dream of sin and guilt is over, and God's Son no longer sleeps. His waking eyes perceive the sure reflection of his Father's love, the certain promise that he is redeemed. The real world signifies the end of time, for its perception makes time purposeless. We're just returning into this long, peaceful instant and just go from one peaceful instant to the next. The Holy Spirit has no need of time when it has served his purpose. Now he waits but that one instant more for God to take his final step, and time has disappeared, taking perception with it as it goes, and leaving but the truth to be itself. That instant is our goal, for it contains the memory of God as we look upon a world forgiven. It is He who calls to us and comes to take us home, reminding us of our identity, which our forgiveness has restored to us. Beautiful. It's about forgiveness. And as it said in the previous special thought, what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is overlooking, seeing that whatever is upsetting you is actually not there, and just forgiving it. Deciding, I'm not going to look at this that way. Understanding that the past is over. I'm just, okay, that's it. I'm not going to bother about that past. And then deciding, I'm going to have the light within instead. I'm still not very good at forgiving. But in this country, it is actually seen as a little bit of a weakness to forgive. It's like, if I forgive him, then I have lost, then I have given in. And they are Catholic, devout Catholic, majority of the people here. And they have got such difficulties forgiving, and I had a difficulty forgiving because I haven't even been taught to do it, how to do it. My mother doesn't know how to forgive. My mother has never really asked for forgiveness either. She feels that there is nothing to forgive in a way, which is a good way, but never kind of seeing, never having a moment of reflection and saying, okay, maybe I've done this wrong. I need to do this differently, and admitting to it. Maybe she does it by herself, but she has got difficulty admitting to it. And I can't really make up my mind whether it's even necessary that you're admitting to it. Upon reflection, where you decide, okay, I've done this wrong, I have to change. Whereby my partner, he is from Denmark, and he knows how to forgive really fast. He can really easily overlook and move on. And that is definitely something which I had to learn during those 30 years that we have been together. But the real world can only be seen when you forgive, when you allow to overlook any of those grudges you're carrying inside, just letting it all go, just bringing it onto this altar and exchanging it for joy and happiness, exchanging it for understanding, remembering who you truly are, asking for help, and allowing the Holy Spirit to retranslate things for you so you can understand it better. In the previous special thoughts, we have repurposed our senses. We have remembered our central channel. We have understood that we got to repurpose our body in the service of our true self, in the service of our Christ consciousness, and also allowing the Holy Spirit to guide us, allowing that voice within, that very quiet voice, which is always there and always giving us guidance. Do this rather, or do that rather, always the peaceful, quiet way. And really the past 10 days, the message was to kind of listen to that voice, connect to that voice. Remember that voice is always within you. Like I say, it's that voice this is that central channel which I call in Qigong. And the real world is the effect of doing all this, of repurposing your senses, turning them within, repurposing the body, understanding that there is no sin, using forgiveness for everything you see, but especially forgiving yourself. And the effect is the real world. To see the world, blessing it, throwing your light onto the world. Even if there is not such an incredible, beautiful landscape, even if the landscape is dim, There might be something which is beautiful. Maybe there is a little plant you can turn towards. Maybe there is a little souvenir you have brought from somewhere. You just want to turn your mind onto the beauty. There is the sky. There is the breath. There is your body. There is your turning inwards, remembering who you truly are. So here you have got all the different relevant links to this special thought. Thank you for reading this together with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so more Course in Miracles students can find me. Love, light and Qi to you.